What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and in today's video, we're going to attempt to try a tune that I actually pulled out of this engine down here. Okay, so I have the PCM from this. I pulled it out, and so what I did was off camera, I hooked the PCM up to the car. I pulled the data out of it, and now I've got it on the laptop, and I'm going to attempt to flash it into this car. Now, look, this is a 6-speed, so not all the stuff jives, but if it is indeed an injector issue, right, so they're just not feeding correctly, this could potentially fix my problem getting it running. I'm having trouble getting a tuner to look at this thing, especially since it's here. I mean, they're going to have to come out here, or they're going to have to adjust the file online and send it to me, and I know they're busy, right? It's hard to get a hold of a good tuner. The other thing I would like to do is attempt to fix my leak. It seems to be getting worse. I think it is just the plug on the bottom of my brand new radiator. But anyway, let's do this. Let's hook the laptop up and let's see if we can get this thing to fire and run. That's all I want. I just want it to fire up and run. Once that happens, then we can worry about possibly getting some more of the pieces on. The back bumper's still at my painter's. I told him not to hurry, not a big deal. But I just want to hear it run. You know, it's been apart for so long. We've heard it run, but for longer than 8 seconds. Got the laptop hooked up, flashing that new file in there. And guys, look, we could have wrecked the plugs playing around trying to get it to run on the 80-pound injectors, and now these are like 51-pound, I think, injectors. I don't know. We may have to pull the plugs out and put new plugs in, but we're gonna give it a shot here as soon as this thing flashes. It doesn't take really that long. It's getting close. We're gonna attempt to fire it up. We'll see what happens. Maybe same boat. I'm gonna leave the camera on, and we're gonna see together if this fixes my problem. Okay, it says the right is complete, so we'll close that, turn the key off, and let's give it a try again. It's a record. It's a record. Not running great, but it's running. Oh, baby. Definitely record. Okay, I gotta shut it off and check the trans fluid. That is a win, guys. You have no idea how exciting that is. So it was definitely an injector issue. Look, there's gonna be some fine tuning along the way, but that right there is enough to check fluids and make sure everything's good. Like I said, we're gonna have to go under there. I'm gonna lift this thing up. We are going to attempt to, I've got to drain that coolant out. I'm hoping I've got enough buckets, because I don't wanna like buy new coolant really. It's brand new. But anyway, I'm gonna check the transmission fluid off camera here, and then I think we'll get it up in the air, and we'll see if we can figure out a method to catch the coolant. Well, I've topped off the transmission fluid for now, but look, this has became, look at that, you see that? More of a problem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to attempt to put my catch over there underneath, and we'll just pull a little bit out at a time. I'm gonna get a wrench. I've got a new plug. I think that's what our problem is, because it's leaking out here. It's not leaking out of the bottom. So I think it's just the seal on this, but it's making a mess, and I need to clean up the transmission fluid that I spilled because I didn't tighten up my line. I need to spray that down a little bit, but let's do this, and then we may let it idle a little longer and check the fluids again. Okay, this is probably a terrible idea, but what if I could get the old one out and this one in while I have something to catch the fluid underneath it? Do you think, because this one's more of a stock replacement, this is kind of hokey, I don't love it. So I think I'm gonna try that. Probably gonna go badly for me, but we'll give it a shot. That is our problem. So my new one that I bought will not fit in there. This is what I did, I had some new rubber seals. I actually put a second one up here. I don't know if that'll help or not, but our seal was all pinched. I may have just over tightened it, I guess. I think that's all it needed, was just that seal. It seems to be good now. We'll just test it. Look, there's probably some still left. I think I just probably over tightened that, or that seal was messed up from the factory, but we're good. I also kind of cleaned up some of my mess here. Let's set this thing back down. I'm gonna let it run for a couple minutes. We're gonna check the fluids again. Let it run for just a minute. Topped off all the coolant. It was maybe a half quart low on oil, which makes sense. I mean, you got to get a lot of oil circulating in that motor. But I noticed that my top line for my transmission was also loose. So yeah, I'm dumb. I should have tightened those when I had the transmission kind of laid back, which we'll have again soon, because like I said, we're gonna have to change that torque arm setup. But look guys, it looks to be working. This seems to not be leaking now, which is good. Transmission lines, I think, are tight at this point. It's full of oil. It is full of power steering fluid. So I'm just gonna keep cycling it, make sure the coolant's full. But yeah, excuse me, that this is the most exciting part. Like, this has been the most exciting day, just hearing this thing run for the first time. Awesome. I'm gonna start it up and let you guys hear it again. And I think until I get a few more parts, we'll talk about what parts I need. Let me set it down. I'll show you what parts I'm thinking I'm gonna need. Now, I don't need a ton of parts. I guess I probably better grab a light. I don't need really a ton. I'm obviously the back bumper. I may leave it off for a little bit until I run it through the gears to make sure everything's going well there. But I actually think I may do that very soon. But I'm gonna go ahead and buy the smooth billow, just because you can see, I mean, we're tight and no air sneaking past that, but I don't love the way that's hooked up. I may try to tilt that a little bit. I don't know. We obviously need a different lid. I was gonna try to use the 92 or the 98 millimeter one over there, but it's just not gonna work. So I'm just gonna buy another SLP lid. I thought I had one out here, but I guess I sold it. But other than that, under the hood, I've got everything for. Okay, so front bumper obviously is up there. We've got, I've got to get a torque arm, another torque arm, because like I said, that one's just gonna bang around. It's gonna make me bananas. And then, really, like I said, I need to try to run it through the gears. Now, look, I bought this transmission from FLT up in Illinois. Chuck is a great guy. And he dyno tests it and breaks your converter in. I had my converter shipped up there to him. He does all that on the dyno. And so you actually get it. That's why I was kind of reluctant about just dumping a bunch of fluid in this thing, because the converter's probably mostly full. The pan he tries to drain before he ships it to you, but he doesn't drain the converter, at least I don't think. And so I didn't want to just like overfill it and have to be worrying about pumping it out. But we've also got lines that run all the way to the back. We've got this big cooler back here in the back, which is going to hold quite a bit of fluid. So yeah, it's kind of one of those test deals. But I'll tell you what, let's lift it up. Let's see if it'll go in reverse and park and neutral. And because remember, we broke, or the transmission shifter linkage was broken. So I kind of need to make sure that that works anyway. So we'll do that as well. And then I'll let you guys kind of hear it idle for a minute. No, I don't want to get crazy here, like trying to roll it through all the gears, but it'd be nice to know that the transmission was working properly, and then let you guys hear maybe it idle in the back. I know you heard it earlier, but try to set in here. I've got the lift up. Ooh, I don't have a ton of brake here. Forgot about that. I definitely need to work on that. I got no brake. Well, I'll tell you what I may have to do. I may have to bleed the brakes before I even attempt this. Means I'm gonna need some help. Dang it. I forgot about that, guys. Okay, never mind. Not gonna put it in gear, but I will let you guys hear it idle. I'm gonna need some help, and I don't have any help to bleed brakes right now. Put my shoes back on. Sounds pretty good. It's not like super choppy. All my lights here are on because I don't have any ABS. Looks like I may need a little more gas too. Probably better stop and get some. But anyway, I think we're gonna end the video here, guys. That is probably the most exciting thing that we've done out here in a while. I really want to check the transmission, but like I said, I need to bleed the brakes, which wouldn't take me long if Cohen or Dana were here, but both of them are gone right now. I'm out here working. So anyway, I'm excited, guys. I'm sure some of you are excited to hear this thing actually run. I know, thanks for all the people who reached out and said, hey, what if it was this? What if it was that? I was pretty sure it was tuning related, but you never know. So just copying that file with that injector data out of that old motor seemed to do the trick. Now we're a long ways, like I said, from like ripping down the road. It's still gonna need to be tuned when we get everything kind of together. But I think in the next video on this thing, hopefully we'll have the brakes bled. We will get our new lid, the new little scrunchy piece or smooth bellow installed, and then possibly start thinking about going through the gears. So I'll save that until the next video to make sure you guys can see it go through the gears. But if you did enjoy this video of this thing finally running after 5 long years, go down there and hit that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down and hit the subscribe button. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video on this or anything else. And stay tuned to see this thing get on the road.